Long Beach realtors on home buying in Long Beach, California. Rent to own home. How does it work? Good or bad? In this series, we'll look at the good and bad of buying a home in Long Beach, California with one of the Long Beach realtors. But today, we are looking at the rent to own home. How does it work? Good or bad? You see many blogs and YouTube videos using words like home scam buying, etc. But then when you look at the content of the video or the blog article, and what the majority are doing is using this as a cheap way to attract you as a potential real estate lead so they can sell you something other than the rent to own so-called scam. Now, I'm not saying this is a great thing to do or a bad thing to do, but what I want to do is give you the facts. I will start though by saying if you can buy a home in the conventional way, that's got to be the best way to go. But let's have a look and see what you think, and you be the judge on rent to own your own home. How does it work, and will it work for you? So, rent to own houses, what are they? Well, rent to own homes have a clause in the rental agreement giving you the choice or option to buy after a set period of time. A proportion of your rent payments count towards your eventual down payment. Rent to own can be an option for people who want to own a property but are being kept out of the conventional way of buying. If you don't have a large down payment or your credit score is low, renting with the aim to buy can allow you time to save and improve your credit. Front-end fees. In a rent-to-own deal, you pay the seller an upfront non-refundable option fee. This charge lets you acquire the property at a later date. There's no set option charge on this, so it's just what you agree upon. Typically, though, the fee is usually 1 to 5% of the buying price of the house, whatever the house value is. So you still need to have some funds for this. In Long Beach, with a median house price of 700k, then you could be looking at between 7 to 35k. So it's not an insignificant amount. Leasing options warning. You see, some rent-to-own contracts are more flexible and consumer-friendly than others. Lease option contracts allow you the right, but you're not obliged to buy the home. If you don't buy the property at the end of the lease, the option expires and you're no longer obligated to rent or buy. Lease purchase contracts aren't always like this. You see, lease purchase contracts tread a bit more carefully with these and be aware that you may be legally forced to buy the home at the end of the lease. Definitely in any property transaction, have a real estate attorney look over things for you. Rent to own, the procedure steps. Rent to own agreements are official legal contracts. I will say never arrange on a verbal agreement. I know I shouldn't need to say this, but it still happens. The contract should state whether you have to buy the home or have the choice to buy. A rent-to-own agreement should include crucial facts. Rent-to-own contracts should indicate what the home's purchase price is. When the contract is signed, you and the seller agree on this. It is usually a higher price than the market valuation at the time when the lease expires. Alternatively, the price is based on the property's market value at the time you actually buy the property. If the property market rises a lot, it may mean a value you couldn't afford at the time, so many choose to lock in the price at the time of the agreement. Now, at the time of the agreement, you also agree on the proportion of the rent that you are paying that will go towards the purchase price when the time comes to buy the house. Now, depending on the contract, the proportion can be any percentage amount that is agreed upon. It can be 100% of the rent or as low as 10%. Home maintenance. You need to agree on what's in the contract. What are you going to be responsible for every aspect of the property's upkeep or not? You know, it really is another reason to always use a real estate lawyer to actually look over everything and make sure you fully understand what you're actually getting into. Who are rent-to-own homes for then? Well, they're really for those who are not quite ready financially to buy their own home. That's by the conventional way. It by no means is perfect, this, rent to own your home, but can be a workable and reasonable option if you have your sensible head on. I say this because, like in any aspect of real estate, there are always those who are ready to take advantage of people. It's an exciting time looking to buy a home, and you can be swept up in the dream of home ownership. Having worked in the real estate industry for 30 years, I've seen the way greedy people can take away all thought for others, and the only thing that matters is the cash to them. So be careful and get professional help. If you want any help, please get in touch, and I'll give you details of the ones who have been researched that can help you. I send you their details, not the other way around, so you are in control as to whether you contact them or not. I always say that you as a buyer or seller, when making the choices, it should be you who decides this. Unfortunately, the marketplace is full of those pain in the asses that believe to constantly hassle you is the way to do business. It is not. When I had the largest overseas property real estate network in the UK, we were successful because we gave control to the ones looking for real estate services. We wasn't constantly hassling them. They came to us when they'd seen and decided the time was right for them. Now, I hope you've got something from this video. I wish you all good health, take care, and bye for now. See you in the next video.